What's good, YouTube? We back in the building. 3kingsboxing.com. Of course, it's your boy, your host, the realest nigga on the internet, 2K. And I'm back, of course, with one of the wackest niggas on the internet.
Damn, we got Sess on the show?
Oh, damn! Sess, if you listening, bro.
What the fuck? Oh, shit, Corey, did Corey join us today?
Hey, Corey will be in the chat. He'll be in the chat soon, probably, man. He gonna hear that shit.
Damn.
That's fucked up. Of course, I'm here with my man, Bo. How you doing today, dog?
Hey, man, today is one of them days, man. Like I told you off, I'm envious of niggas. But at the end of the day, I'm glad to be me. Glad to be here. So y'all don't understand. This shit is therapeutic than a motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that shit,
this
bro.
This shit is therapeutic. God damn it, if I'd have had this, y'all be reading about, damn, I used to know Bo. Damn shame he ain't doing that. Damn, that nigga locked up, huh?
Motherfuckers trying to have fundraisers to get you some bail money and shit.
Yeah. Like, yo, welcome to the prodigy of boxing. Of course, send money to Three Kings Boxing and all money go towards bail and go out of jail.
Please donate to Bo Garrison Bo Bland Fund to get his dumb ass out of jail, please. Oh man. So I got in the description, my man Bo pointed it out. I got some old ass topics and old ass hashtags down there. Ignore that shit. My dumb ass forgot to delete it. You know what I'm saying? So everything above the Deontay Wilder officially rejects Anthony Joshua, everything above that is what we're going to talk about today. I appreciate everybody coming in. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to it.
Man, let's do this.
And to start.
Wait a minute. You went from 100 to 0. And to start. Like this is the disappointing shit, right?
You know I can move it up and down like that, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It is disappointing. Y'all know how I feel about this whole Dillian Whyte situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, bro. Yeah, good point. Mind you, I'm not a fan of any fighter. Y'all all know that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't support Dillian Whyte like that. You know what I'm saying? He's just another fighter in the heavyweight division to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but with me not being a fan of a fighter, with my guys that work for 3kingsboxing.com not being fans of fighters, it helps us to be objective when we gotta call shit out. And this is gonna be a motherfucking example of my objectivity. You know what I'm saying? Dillian Whyte is petitioning. He put in an appeal. He said, hell no. You're not about to have me in another motherfucking eliminator? Yes, wait a minute. How long have I been mandatory? 2017? You know what I'm saying? I've been mandatory, or at least I've been the #1 contender. There's a difference between being a mandatory and a #1 contender. You could be a mandatory at #4, obviously. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, I'm talking about Dominic Brazil, right? But there's a difference between being #1 and being mandatory. Dillian Whyte has been the #1 contender since 2017, people. 2017, when he beat Robert Hell Anus. You know what I'm saying?
That's when he won the silver title.
Yeah, that's when he won the silver title, right? Now, I get people's arguments. I understand what they're saying, Bo. Hey, man, he ducked the second Anthony Joshua fight. He ducked the fight with Luis Ortiz. He's over here saying he don't want none of these mandatories they're trying to put him in. And this is just another example of him ducking a big fight. Hey, man, if you feel that way, I have no problem with that. Okay? But this is what I want you to understand from my point of view, just like I understand your point of view. When you got a guy that's been sitting as the #1 contender for almost 2 years, and on top of that, he has the interim title that is supposed to grant him an opportunity at being a mandatory. Fuck being the #1 contender. He's got one of the interim titles, one of the WBC minor titles, that is the most prestigious minor title they have. The silver, well, I would say the diamond is, but the diamond ain't awarded to nobody. So next is the silver, right? He's got the silver title. That is supposed to grant him mandatory status, right? On top of being #1 contender. So he has 2 arguments where he could say, hey guys, look at me right here, Dilian Whyte. I should be mandatory. He's got 2 arguments. Okay? Understand my position when I say, if I'm Dilian Whyte, I ain't fighting in no more motherfucking eliminators neither. You know what I'm saying? I done already done this shit twice. What was it, bro? Hell Anus. I might have been 3 times because I believe Derek Chisora was 1. And Lucas Brown, if I'm not mistaken.
I know Brown and Hellenis was 1.
Okay. All right. Derek Chisora might not have been 1. Point is, he's already fought in multiple fucking eliminators. He's already done that.
I think Derek Chisora is when he won something from the WBO. He won that fucking WBO, European Internet, whatever the fuck it was.
And that made him the #1 contender in the WBO. This motherfucker's the #1 contender in 2 of the 4 major sanctioning bodies right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're not going to talk about WBO because that's irrelevant right now, right? He's been #1 in the WBC much longer than he has been the WBO. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
All right. So this is the problem here. Now, again, I agree. I don't agree with it, but I understand where you guys are going to come from. Hey, he ducked all these motherfuckers, right? All right. No, it's not a WBA eliminator because Rampage Fan 33, because the guy that's automatically supposed to get a WBA regular title shot is Fresno Kendo. Emanuel Charlo is the champion, and #1 over there is Trevor Bryant. So it wasn't a WBA eliminator; it's WBC. But listen to this, man. I understand where y'all are coming from, right? And I was one of those guys that was saying, hey, when Eddie Hearn was trying to throw Dillian Whyte at Deontay Wilder during the negotiations with Anthony Joshua, I was like, nah, fuck that. We don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those guys in the beginning. I'm going to admit to that. I was one of them guys. I don't want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? If Anthony Joshua had his arm hanging out the ring, Deontay Wilder might have both arms hanging out the fucking ring. I ain't trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? But now it becomes a situation of morals, dog. Right? It becomes a situation of what's fucking right. Okay? Now it has become apparent that the Anthony Joshua fight is not happening. Right? Yes, it became apparent whenever Anthony Joshua fought Alexander Povetkin. It became apparent to me whenever Andre Rybinski came out last March and said, no, he ain't fighting nobody but my dude. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Now you got you got him signed to the zone. You got Deontay Wilder as a free agent, right? You've got Deontay Wilder's manager coming out and saying, hey, we already got 3 motherfuckers set up. You know what I'm saying? We got Dominic Brazil, Luis Ortiz, and Adam Kalnacki. Then you got Deontay Wilder coming out saying, yeah, I'm not even thinking about no goddamn Anthony Joshua until 2020. So now it's apparent that the Joshua fight is not happening, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's been apparent for over a year now, Bo, right?
Yes.
Mandate the goddamn fight, please. They should have mandated it instead of whack-ass Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil has what? How many wins after getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua? 3 or 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. 3 or 4 wins after getting knocked the fuck out by Anthony Joshua.
And one of them wins you can question because I thought he was getting his ass whipped by Amir Mansour.
Was that before or after Joshua?
That was after Joshua.
Okay.
Amir Mansour was after Joshua. I remember that fight.
Okay. I remember it too. Yeah, Amir Mansour bit his cheek or some shit.
Bit his tongue. And couldn't finish. But he was whooping Dominic Brazili's ass, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll say that's after. Correct us if we're wrong, people. But he's only won like 3 or 4 fights after getting knocked out by Joshua, right? Dilian Whyte has won 9 straight fucking fights, and it's not against whack competition. You know what I'm saying? David White is not whack, all right? He's not whack. He only lost to Luis Ortiz and Dillian Whyte, right? You got Lucas Brown's a former champion. He is, I mean, it is what you want to say about him. But that fight told us, yeah, he needs his peds, basically. He was a fat motherfucker. He went from this big bodybuilding looking nigga to a motherfucker with a fat ass grandpa gut. You know what I'm saying? When they took away his PEDs. But that was a fight where we learned, yeah, Lucas Brown may need some peds. You know what I'm saying? In order to continue boxing. But I'm still going to give him credit for that. Robert Hell Anus was a top ranking heavyweight at the time, right? You got 2 Derek Chisora fights. Bro, he's done what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? He's done what he needs to do. Yeah, Joseph Parker. Exactly, Rampage fan. Joseph Parker. This motherfucker is the MIP, or I said MIB in Las Vegas. Most improved boxer. Mandate the fucking fight already, man. We don't want to see no eliminator. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing a Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte fight, but not under these circumstances. Why? Because it's not the right thing to do, dog. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, Bo, but not under this. That's a title fight right there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fucking eliminator. And then Dillian Whyte has rightfully earned his spot to be the fucking mandatory. And then if he beats Oscar Rivas, my nigga, bro, if he beats Oscar Rivas and they don't mandate the fight, I'm calling the WBC, bro. I'm giving him a call.
Well, I think the Oscar Rivas one is under IBF. No.
This is the thing. Oscar Rivas is ranked number 10 by the WBC.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. And Dillian Whyte's appeal is, I'm not going to fight Tyson Fury. Why don't you make my fight with Oscar Rivas be the one for the eliminator? Because Rivas is ranked within the top 15.
Right. Yes, correct.
Right. So he's saying, just make it that fight. If you want to order something, nigga, order the goddamn fight I'm going to have with Oscar Rivas. He's a top 10 contender in your ranking system. So why don't you order that shit? You know what I'm saying? And to my surprise, Mauricio Suleiman was like, hey, I'm not opposed by that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, that's cool with me. He was like, but the thing is, we have order. You know what I'm saying? We have
board of directives.
Well, no. I know that, but I'm saying he's like, well, there's policies in place that we got to undergo. You know what I'm saying? And one of the policies is, like Bo said, it's got to go to the board of directors for the WBC. We all got to vote on the shit. Everybody's got to be in unison. You know what I'm saying? And then we can make the decision. He's like, basically, he's like, I'm not just the one that says, hey, shut the fuck up, everybody. We're going to do this. Nah, it's a collective here. We got to vote on it, right? So that's what they're doing right now. They're reviewing it. But I agree wholeheartedly with Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? Why are you mandating Tyson Fury, or at least ordering Tyson Fury, when I got a fight already on the motherfucking docket in July with one of your top 10 contenders? The fuck? Order that one. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and at the same time, this is an excellent fight. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I think Dillian Whyte loses this fight. That's how good of a fight it is. I think Oscar Rivas beats Dillian Whyte. You know what I'm saying? That's how good of a fucking fight this is, man. So at the end of the day, if Dillian Whyte beats Oscar Rivas and they are still trying to dick him around, bro, I'm calling him, Bo.
Here's, you know what, man? Let me say something, because here's the reality, right? I got one question. Did Tyson Fury ever hold the WBC belt?
No, sir.
Okay. Was Tyson Fury some type of champion, emeritus champion, anything like that?
No, sir.
Then explain to me, how the fuck does the WBC place him that high in the fucking rankings where he surpassed everybody in the top 5 and went straight to the fucking top? Why? Because he fought Deontay Wilder and it was a drug. Now I get the WBC saying, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna order a rematch. I get that part. We're gonna order a rematch because you can do that. But to put him that high in the ranking, then tell everybody else, fuck you, and the motherfucker that's been at number 1, hey dog, we want you to fight him. We know about Oscar Rivas, but fuck it. After Rivas, which is a tough fight, we want you to fight this motherfucker in a fight on Eliminator?
Golly. Are you serious?
Listen, man, kiss my dick and suck my ass. That's what I would tell him. That's exactly what I would tell them, dog.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you see that I'm about to fight this motherfucking Oscar Rivas? That's a tough ass fight, just like you said. Oscar Rivas is ranked high in every motherfucking in all of them, right?
Right.
In all the sanctioning bodies. He's 10 WBC, and I think he's top 5 in the other one. I think he's like number 3 or 4 with the IBF, right? So bottom line, he's up there, okay? Say what you want to say about, hey, I got in his ass about the Ortiz situation. I even got in his ass about the Kubrat Pulev. A lot of cats forget about that one. About the Kubrat Pulev situation, right? Okay. I remember arguing with cats saying, dog, he should have took one of them fights instead of fighting Joseph Parker, because them 2 fights got this nigga close to a title. I said that shit, right? So I got that. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. The WBC has been putting the fuck to Dillian Whyte. And guess what? Eddie Hearns ain't done shit to help him.
Nothing.
Eddie Hearns ain't spoke out for Dillian Whyte.
Nothing.
Ain't. He ain't spoken. That's the like they didn't say Eddie Hearn petition. No, they said Dillian Whyte petition. Because
That's right.
Eddie Hearn, he ain't thinking about him. Why? Because see, and this is why I said a while back, Dillian Whyte needs to stop trying to do Hearn's bidding, because Dillian Whyte was the in between, the blocker to keep Wilder from getting to Joshua. And I remember telling cats then, I had no problem with Wilder fighting Whyte, but my problem was y'all saying he got to fight Whyte to prove he needs to fight AJ, which is some bullshit.
That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah, champion ain't never got to prove he just heard to fight another fucking champion. Okay, right. It's like just like right now. Hey, I wasn't a big fan of Jose Pedraza, but if Lomachenko wanted to fight him, I wasn't gonna say, well, Pedraza got to do more. No, the fuck, I'm not gonna say that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was mad, but at the end of the day, I understood the circumstance, the situation. Hey, it was two champions. Nothing I could do about that.
Yeah. Okay. And the WBC is not. Let's just keep it a buck. It's not just WBC too. The WBA. And has been putting the fuck to him. A lot of them have been putting the fuck to him. But the WBC been putting the fuck to him the longest. No Vaseline.
No Vaseline, bro.
No Vaseline.
No KY, none of it.
No KY, no, you know what I'm saying? They straight jail doing him privately in the motherfucking cell while the guards are walking by looking like, damn. That's fucked up.
Nigga, they did him like they did that white boy on American ME.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That's how they doing Dillian Whyte with the jagged knife.
So I don't blame him for petitioning. Now, my only problem with it is I don't think this petition goes anywhere, because the board has already said that, well, they want to have him fight Tyson Fury in a final eliminator, which is some bullshit. Yep. See, and I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit to me. Why the fuck is Dillian Whyte got to fight Fury, who, when you ordered the rematch with Fury, this motherfucker said no? Why the fuck he got to fight a motherfucker that once already told us no to fighting the goddamn champion?
Very good point. I forgot all about that.
Because that's what motherfucker said when Dillian Whyte didn't fight a fucking Luis Ortiz. That's what the motherfucker said when Dillian Whyte didn't fight motherfucking Kubrat Pulev. They said that. So why the fuck are you ordering Dillian Whyte to fight a dude that said no to a fucking rematch that you ordered?
Very good point.
Why the fuck are y'all doing that to him? And that's some bullshit. And keep it a buck. Listen, my man said it best all the time. Prodigy always say Dillian Whyte reminds him of the Flintstone when the motherfucker be shit, right? But as of late, he's been fighting the tough and best competition. Now, he took this Oscar Ribas fight, and I'm with you on this. That's a tough, fast fight. That's a fight, honestly, I think, man, from even with the improvements that I've seen of Dillian Whyte, it's still not enough to convince me that he beats what I saw from Oscar Ribas.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen, it's that, I'm not gonna get all into the fight, but I'm gonna just say the main reason why I believe Oscar Ribas defeats him is because when Oscar Ribas gets inside of his opponents, that motherfucker is hell to deal with. Yes, you know what I'm saying? And he's very heavy-handed.
No, you know what I'm saying? Y'all haven't seen this dude. Me and 2K ain't small dudes. Oscar Ribas is one of only 3 dudes I've ever seen in my life that when I stand next to him or I stand behind him, I disappear. That's only happened to me 3 times in my grandfather was motherfucking one of them. 2K, I told you about Pride. Right. My grandfather was one of them. It ain't a lot of dudes, dog, that I can stand behind and I disappear. That shit don't happen.
Yeah, this dude he's not lying. You know what I'm saying? That's a big ass nigga.
Yeah, the dude shook my hand and my shit felt small as I had to look at my shit like, damn.
His hands are bear claws. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's not just the physique. You know what I'm saying, on Oscar Ribas. It's the fact that he knows what to do when he gets inside of his opponent. And Dillian Whyte allows people to get inside of him. Watch the 2 Derek Chisora fights, man. You know what I'm saying? He allows people to get inside of him because he doesn't have great footwork. He's too sloppy on his footwork, man. I really believe Oscar Ribas gets inside of Dillian Whyte, bro.
And he has a higher motor than Dillian Whyte, too, to be the size.
Yes, he does.
Heavy high. That's why he was able to get Bryant Jennings in the 12th like he did. He has a very high motor.
So I'm worried for Dillian Whyte in this fight. My thing is, like my man Bo said earlier, man, this is how y'all know we keep it straight down the middle. I am not a supporter of Dillian Whyte, but I've clowned Dillian Whyte plenty of times on this channel, just clowning him and shit.
I remember the picture this nigga made with Dillian Whyte on the rope saying that shit there ain't got nothing to do with a bad show.
Yeah.
I remember that picture.
Yeah.
Dog. That was funny.
Dillian Whyte used to get clowned on the daily, bro. But it's down the middle. I gotta call it like I see it. This man deserves his fucking title shot, man.
Yes, he does, man.
100%. Like I think he deserves it so much that, like I said, if they don't order this shit, if he beats Oscar Rivas and they don't order, I'm calling WBC. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling these niggas. I'm not playing. You know what I mean?
Dog. I just want the WBC to explain to me, how does a motherfucker that turned down a fight with the champion gets to fight in the fucking eliminator? Explain that to me, y'all. How does a motherfucker that you ordered to fight the fucking champion gets an eliminator after turning down fighting the fucking champion? Because if the thing with the WBC is saying, well, we need to fight a final eliminator, I'd rather it be like Adam Kalnaki or even Luis Ortiz. How do a guy who turned down a shot with the fucking champion, dog, gets to fight an eliminator? Y'all got to explain that to me. You got to fucking help me with that. This nigga never held your belt, and he automatically got ranked in the top fucking 3. How did that happen, man?
I don't know.
Got to explain that, man.
And how does it happen that you got a guy who's #1 and he's got the silver title, gets overlooked by a guy who's just ranked #4? He has nothing to prove. He has nothing brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? I understand they had 2 mandatories. They said I think Dominic Brazil fought his eliminator either against Carlos Negron or it was Iganu. I can't think of his first name, but the African cat. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those 2. They said it was going to be an eliminator, but they already fucking
that was coming off of that was coming off of Joshua Law. So how did he get that off of Joshua Law?
Yeah, exactly. I think it might have been Carlos Negron that they said it was the eliminator, you know, which was the fight after Iganu. But the thing is, they already had Dillian Whyte, who had already fought an eliminator at that time. So they had the problem with 2 fucking mandatories that they promised. Or at least they had 2 fighters that they promised a mandatory position to. So they said, all right, you 2 niggas fight. Now, whether it was Dillian Whyte's fault, it was Dominic Brazil's fault, we don't fucking know. At the end of the day, we know Dillian Whyte started talking with PBC to see if he could work out some type of deal with them to be a fighter with PBC. Obviously didn't work out because he stayed with Eddie Hearn, and that fight never came about. I remember reporting that both of those guys said, yeah, we'll fight each other. Dillian Whyte said he'll fight him. Dominic Brazil said he'll fight Dillian Whyte, right? We reported on that.
Sure did.
But for whatever reasons, unknown, you know what I'm saying? Dillian Whyte didn't go with PBC, stayed with Eddie Hearn. Fight didn't go through. So how do you mandate the guy with the less ranking? And we all know what this is about. Yeah, it's because it has a story behind it, right? Deontay Wilder's brother punched him in the back of the head and shit. It's got a story behind it. If that shit had never happened, right, would they have mandated Dominic Brazil?
No.
If that little story with the beef between, because remember, Brazil was gonna sue Deontay Wilder, and you know he was on that whole shit. He was gonna sue.
Oh yeah, dog. Remember I used to clown that nigga bouncing, man.
Yeah, you got punched in the back of your head in front of your bitch and your kids, and you gonna sue the nigga instead of whoop his ass. Man, you know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah, I remember that. You know, but the thing is, if none of that was going on, do you really believe that they would have mandated Dominic Brazil?
No, and not only that, I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who gets mad at me. I no longer will argue like cats when they say, man, the WBC is catering to Wilder. I'm not gonna argue that no more. I'm not gonna argue it no more because that's exactly what the fuck this looks like.
Well, it became apparent to me that they were catering to Wilder whenever Alexander Povetkin popped hot when they were supposed to fight, and they just magically inserted Chris Arreola in the top 10. And if you looked at Chris Arreola at that time, his last fight was a draw against, or is it a draw or no contest? I think it was a draw against Travis Kaufman.
Okay.
He hadn't done anything, but they magically inserted him into the top 10 and allowed Chris Arreola to face Deontay Wilder, and they sanctioned it as a title fight. That's when I realized that they're catering to Deontay Wilder. You know, the fact that they kept Romain Stavern as the #1 contender for that long, and the only thing he fought, what was the guy's name? Derek Rossi. He fought that motherfucker after he lost to Wilder. I think he was on like a 2-year layoff and shit, and they kept him as the #1 contender. That was the second reason where I knew they were catering to Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. I already been on that fucking train, but you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Before we go to the next topic, man, I want to shout some people out, man. My man Lawrence Williams, Mike James Boxing, Maurice Bernstein, Virtuoso, Rampage Fan 33. Wait. Let me say it right. Julio Ortega.
Julio Ortega.
And my man Weed Degree from the UK, man. He's up early in the morning. I appreciate everybody in the chat right now. But what you got for me next, dog?
Hey, man, check it out, dog. Oscar De La Hoya is out here in them streets.
In them streets.
Nigga, I don't even know if I can continue. That motherfucker put on his 5 heartbeat voice.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
He's out here already hinting that Canelo is not gonna go nowhere near Demetrius Andrade. They finna do it to him again, dog. They do it to him at 154, and they looking at 160 like, hold on, wait a minute, man. This dude ain't fell off. He ain't showed no diminishing skill set. No.
Right.
This ain't Daniel Jacobs. This nigga can actually box, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? So no. Oh shit. Our boy is here. Hey, are you still out there in them streets, nigga?
In them streets. Hey, Kashad, bro. We giving you all credit. In them streets has become the logo, bro. Yep. But you got credit, my nigga. You got credit.
Yep. You got credit. You get verbal credit because you ain't getting a goddamn dime from the
Hell yeah. Let me make that clear, nigga. You ain't getting no money.
Gonna be the homie that get free shit. That's what you gonna be. You know, you want to go to a fight, we got you. But you,
hell yeah.
You know how was it in that movie Great White Hype when Don King said, "All right, man, I'll buy you another car."
Yeah, there you go.
But you owe me $1 million, nigga. I'll buy you another car.
I'll get you another car, nigga. How about that?
Yeah, man. He out here letting it be known, dog, that man, they might not fight Demetrius Andrade. Now, I don't know how long they can get away with it, especially with Canelo saying he want to fight, want to become undisputed, and they are with his own now. And I will give Eddie Hearns all this right here. He has always indicated that that both Andrade and Daniel Jacobs are, should be fighting Canelo Alvarez at some point. So, but for right now, no, man, they still not touching that fight. And I don't understand why. I just don't understand why, man. Prodigy, man, help us out, man. Why are they trying to stay with that? Because I mean, Andrade, is Demetrius Andrade really all that, man?
Yeah, he is. And he's been all that since the amateurs. Absolutely. Listen, man, I'm gonna give a little bit of history. You know, I like to do history, bro. You know, I like to talk history.
Yes.
Listen, man, it was a very, beautiful night, November 9th, 2013. Demetrius Andrade was dropped in the first round and got up to dominate Vargas Martirosyan, who was undefeated at that time. Nobody had beaten this guy. Vargas Martirosyan was one of those wild cards at 154 pounds where if you watched that division, you said, yo, there's only 3 top motherfuckers in this division, and Vargas Martirosyan's one of them. You know what I'm saying? The Charlo brothers were coming out. A lot of people thought Jermell Charlo was better than Jermell. Of course, that has switched in more recent times. You know what I'm saying? But Vargas Martirosyan was a guy we were looking at like, yo, this motherfucker might do some damage. And he did an excellent job against Demetrius Andrade. Just couldn't beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gets the vacant WBO title there. Defeats Brian Rose in his next fight. After that, guess who's sitting at the mandatory position? Canelo Alvarez, exactly, right? Now, I don't know if everybody in the chat remembers this. I remember it vividly, right? Demetrius Andrade, who is the champion, was calling out his #1 contender continuously, right? Oscar De La Hoya was like, that's not a fight we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's not a fight we really give a fuck too much about. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're trying to fight pay-per-view. Hey, let's fight Alfredo Angulo. That happened in March of 2014, a couple months after Andrade got his belt, right? They fought Alfredo Angulo on pay-per-view. Then they fought Arislan de Lara. Now, I'll give him credit for Arislan de Lara because Lara, walked up into the press conference. Yeah, you on Shan, fuck everybody and Golden Boy. Because you shook my dick, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was all up in their face, right? So Canelo was like, give me this motherfucker. I give him credit for that one. But then, as he's still the number one contender in the WBO, he fights James Kirkland. And it was a James Kirkland. I was on a 2-year layoff, bro, without Ann Wolf on top of that. And listen, he had some motherfucking trainer from San Antonio, bro. I lived in San Antonio for a very long time. So when I heard that was his trainer, I was like, oh, he getting knocked out.
No shit.
He getting knocked. Any motherfuckers can't train nobody in San Antonio. He get knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
No shit.
You know, no disrespect to Mario Barrios and his sister Selena Barrios, but real talk, the trainers are slim in San Antonio. It is what it is. Jess James, Leha, Tony Ayala, the fucking trainers are slim in San Antonio. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when I knew and I looked at the guy, never seen him before, I was like, James Kirkland's getting knocked the fuck out.
Dog, when I saw the way the niggas had him hitting pads, that's all. Yeah, this nigga, he going down.
Yeah. It fight's over. You know what I'm saying? So he fights James Kirkland. Meanwhile, this whole time that we're talking 2 years now, Demetrius Andrade is all up in the media calling Canelo out. Now, let me tell you something, fellas. When is the last time you really see a champion chasing a contender? You don't see that very often, right? It's always the other way around. Then it gets into the point where the contender's like, damn, man, I'm trying to fight this motherfucker, man. Then the sanctioning body comes in and says, all right, we're going to mandate the fight now. WBO never mandated it. Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya came out publicly and was like, that's not the fight we're looking for right now. Right? De La Hoya, I believe, said at that time, there's no money in that fight. Right?
Yeah, he said that. He sure did say that.
Right? Meanwhile, Demetrius Andrade is like, this is my motherfucking number one contender. Why the fuck are y'all not letting me fight this nigga? WBO says, shut up, nigga. Matter of fact, give me that belt. Stripped him. Yep. Y'all want to know why they stripped him? They said because he didn't fight enough. Which is ridiculous because he's chasing his number one contender. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they stripped him. You know, the belt goes into the hands of some nigga named Liam Smith. We don't know him. Anyway, point is, Liam Smith gets the belt in the UK. He fought, what was the guy's name? John Thompson. Yeah. Allen Iverson's college basketball coach. He fought him.
I remember that too, because that's what you used to say. Yeah. You used to say that shit all the time.
They had the same name, John Thompson. That was the nigga that coached Allen Iverson in 1996 at Georgetown. That's who Liam Smith beat to get the WBO belt. You know what I'm saying? He gets it. Then he comes over to Canelo's neck of the woods in Texas, and actually my neck of the woods right around the corner from where I live here in Dallas, Texas. Right? Gets knocked out by a body shot in 2016. Canelo is the WBO champion. Guess what happened after that, Bo?
Andrade, Andrade, what was he? What was he? What happened to Andrade?
Yeah, and that's the name, Andrade, number one contender.
Yeah, Andrade was, right. Andrade was number one contender.
The fucking roles switched.
And I remember when Andrade made the comment because he said, damn, this motherfucker fought for a belt that he fought for a belt that I've been trying to get him to fight.
That I've been trying to get him to fight for. Exactly. Right? The roles switched. Now Canelo's champion. Andrade is number one contender. Andrade is still talking the way he was talking when he was champion. They still didn't give him the fight. Now, let's fast forward to today. All right. Canelo has already said, I want to be undisputed champion at 160 pounds, right? If he becomes undisputed champion, he will be the first middleweight undisputed champion since Jermaine Taylor, okay? Mm-hmm. He will be the first one. That was what, 2005, I believe. He'll be the first one, all right, since then. So the stakes are high. He stands to do a lot for his legacy if he's able to accomplish this, right? But guess who is in the way from him accomplishing this? Same guy.
Andrade.
Same guy. And the funny thing is, they're on the same network / platform, DAZN, right? Fight is supposed to happen next. But De La Hoya is out here in these streets. Just talking about Callum Smith, talking about a third Gennady Golovkin fight. Basically said, yeah, you know, I understand Canelo said he want to be undisputed, but that's not really what we're looking at right now. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Bruh, like, listen, man, it's obvious to me they don't want no parts of Demetrius Andrade. I'm not saying they won't fight him. All I'm saying is, given the history that I just gave you guys, and y'all could go look all this shit up. This is legit facts. Right. Everything I just gave y'all. Given that history, to me, it's very easy for me to conclude they don't want to fuck with Demetrius Andrade, and rightfully so. Demetrius Andrade would be a problem for Canelo Alvarez, man. If y'all thought Daniel Jacobs was a problem, imagine Demetrius Andrade. You see what I'm saying?
How many southpaws have Canelo fought? How many?
That's a good question.
I think Austin Trout.
Yep, Austin Trout. I wouldn't call Austin Trout slick.
No,
Austin Trout is more of a.
Yeah, he's not. He's no Demetrius Andrade.
He did fight Erislandy Lara. Lara's a southpaw, right?
Yeah. So
Erislandy Lara would be that slick southpaw that he fought, and in my opinion, he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade, though, in defense of Canelo, doesn't move like Erislandy Lara moved back then. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade is more so, you know, he's kind of sitting right there, but he does subtle things like he gives angles and shit that puts him out of position. You know what I'm saying? He's a very smart fighter, Demetrius Andrade is.
Oh, man.
So, bro, it is a fucking problem. You know, and Andrade is like, yo, I want next, nigga. Hold up. He even came out and said to try to piss them off that he thought Daniel Jacobs won the fight. He's like, yeah, Daniel Jacobs did enough to win this fight. Fuck it, I want next. I'll beat him. Yeah. Andrade's been wanting this fight for 6 fucking years. 6 years now, people. It's time to give him that fight, man. What do you think, Bo?
I think that, Demetrius Andrade, the reason why they was able to avoid him the first time because he was with a promotion company that me and 2K can beat with the change in our pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we could beat them in the purse bid with the change in our pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was one thing, right? And then on top of that, by him not being active and not, I want to say him not being active and then not being with a strong enough push behind him, they was able to just be like, fuck him. Because the thing with Liam Smith, which is what you talked about, was this was after he decided not to fight Golovkin and dropped that WBC belt, went down to 154 and fought Liam Smith for that for that WBO title, right? So, and then Andrade, of course, he's been looking for that one name on his resume that he's been missing. Okay, Billy Joe Saunders, the situation had with Billy Joe Saunders, and then instead of Saunders, revamp, re-upping and coming back, he said, "Fuck it, I'm going to 168."
Yeah, I know, right? That's some bullshit. Andrade made it clear, bro, when he beat Walter Katandakwa. He said, I will give Billy Joe Saunders the opportunity he was willing to give me. Billy Joe Saunders in response said, well, I'm going to 168, my nigga.
Yeah. That's exactly what he did. Hell, Andrade went and fought for the WBA regular title, hoping to get Erislandy Lara to finally fucking fight him. Because he wanted that rematch from them being in the amateurs. So the thing with Demetrius Andrade is he's been trying to get all of these dudes in the ring with him, but it's always a roadblock there. Now you have no excuse. You have to see this man. If Canelo Alvarez and them be like, fuck it, we not fighting Demetrius Andrade, and they keep teetering between 168 and 160 and never fight Andrade, that's gonna be the equivalency to me of when the Marvin Hagler and all them dudes never fought the Body Snatcher. That's exactly what that's going to be the equivalency to me.
Right.
Because there's no explanation or reason why you're telling me that you guys are with the same in the same division. He's stopping you from becoming undisputed. For Oscar to say what he said, now, mind you, it's not Canelo. So this the only reason why it's not like all being on Canelo, because he's not the one saying it. You know what I'm saying? This is Oscar saying it. So cats ain't gonna come down on Canelo if this is what Oscar is saying.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, man, look, I don't expect him to fight Demetrius Andrade this year. I mean, let's face it, you just had a tough fight with Daniel Jacobs. I don't expect your next fight to be that tough fight in September. I think that's just gonna be just a fight to be like, oh, okay, I'm fighting in September. But sometime next year, I expect to hear y'all talking about y'all negotiate with Andrade. And that's just the reality of it. This dude has always been on some of that has been his fault, but this right here, this is not his fault. He's on the outside looking in, and he's in the high. And guess what? This time you can't say shit because he's staying busy. Like the WBO can't do shit to him now because hey, I got y'all belt, and I'm staying fucking busy. He has a fight coming up. So I don't know, man. I think the fans, and you know the bad part is, I think if Canelo don't fight Andrade, I think the fans is as long as he's making fights where people are paying to watch him fight, and you still got the names of maybe Golovkin being mentioned out there, or you still got the Callum Smith names being mentioned out there with the bigger money fights. I think the fans will not get on him about not fighting Andrade, man.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Let me go to the comments real quick. My man Barker Raider, don't overrate Andrade, bro. I think he's talking to me. He ain't fought nobody worth mentioning. Now, I like when people say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives me the opportunity to show you why that comment, when people say things like that, it means nothing. You don't have to necessarily see a guy fight the best motherfucker in the sport to say, okay, he's good. You don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. See, when you know how to break down styles, and when you know how to break down, contrasting matchups, contrasting styles and giving matchups, right? When you see a guy do certain things in the ring that other cats can't do, even motherfuckers that might be ranked higher than him or more popular than him, this fighter is still able to do things in the ring that those fighters can't accomplish. You know what I'm saying? You can come up, basically, you can have a well-educated analysis and say, yeah, this guy can fight guys who are elite, even though he hasn't been there yet. Demetrius Andrade is one of those guys. Now, he did fight one elite fighter. At that time, he was elite at 154, not in boxing, but he was elite at 154, and that's Vargas Martirosyan, right? Now, the reason why your comment really is doesn't make much sense, I'm going to throw a guy at you by the name of Jarrett Hurd. Who did Jarrett Hurd beat before we saw that this motherfucker could become a unified champion? Don't throw out Austin Trout. Austin Trout was already this motherfucker damn near out of the sport when he beat Austin Trout, right?
Yeah, he was.
When they made the Erislandy Lara fight, understand Erislandy Lara was the most dominating champion in the division. He held the WBA super belt the longest out of any other champion in that division. He was still dominating cats. And you still had a lot of people saying, man, Jarrett Hurd's just too big. Well, if what you say is the gospel, then what we should have said was, well, he only beat a guy in Tony Harrison, where a lot of people are saying was a journeyman. They called Tony Harrison a journeyman, Bo. You know this.
After one loss. After one fucking loss.
Yeah. He lost to Willie Nelson.
Yep.
Right? They were calling Tony Harrison a fucking journeyman.
He was winning that
fight. In a fight he was winning, exactly. When he beat Jermell Charlo, the first thing motherfucker said was, Jermell Charlo sucks. He lost to a journeyman. I see that shit all over social media, right? So he had only beaten Tony Harrison and Austin Trout. We'll just say Tony Harrison had an asterisk next to him because we saw him basically mentally quit against Willie Nelson, right? That's what we saw. Austin Trout damn near out the sport. Before that, we're talking Oscar Molina, Frank Galarza, fucking JoJo Dan. Those are only guys he beat. So how is it that you could have came to the conclusion that he was going to be a good fight against Erislandy Lara if what you say is the gospel? It's because people knew, based on the eye test, they didn't need to see him in the fucking ring with an elite fighter. They knew he had the goods already. Wow. And that's what it is with Demetrius Andrade.
Well, okay, you gave a current one. I'll give you an older one. Floyd Mayweather and Gennaro Hernandez. There's nothing you saw of anybody Floyd fought before he fought Gennaro Hernandez that made you feel that he could compete with the reigning lineal champion in Gennaro Hernandez. Matter of fact, it was people that was saying they was pushing him too fast. He wasn't ready for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Floyd got in there and beat the dog shit out of Gennaro Hernandez.
Gennaro Hernandez was the most dominant champion at that time.
Yes. So
I think it was on the WBA belt too. Actually,
I think it was. Yeah,
it was the WBA. I think it was the WBA title.
And I remember people saying how they're moving Floyd too fast. We haven't seen enough from him against topper level guys to us to see, that he can beat them. But like you said. People admitted that this is a good fighter, but they thought it was too much too fast. So when you look at, like you said, you take that eye test, and the eye test is what tells you that if he gets in there, he can compete. Gennady Golovkin was one of them dudes that people said the same thing about his eye test.
Right.
The eye test told us that, hell, his eye test was so high, he was a top 5 pound for pound fighter without beating a motherfucker.
Man, his motherfucking eye test was so high. They were saying he is one of the best middleweights of all time.
And mind you, if you take the theme that my man always preach about, the WBA regular title not being an actual world title, Gennady Golovkin only fought and won one world title of David Mead, the IBF. He was awarded the WBC. He was bumped up to super champion from the WBA.
Yep. He only fought for it. Yep. Damn. Damn, bro. Boy, stop it, man. Dial it back a little bit, man. That's too much knowledge, bro. Too much knowledge and common sense, man. Dial it back a little bit.
I'm just saying, man. So the eye test is what you see. Just like right now, Teofimo Lopez. The eye test tells us, hey, man, we want to see this dude in there with B and A level fighters because we believe he got the goods from the eye test.
Exactly, fam.
So
exactly, fam. All right, man. We're gonna go on and move to the next one.
Prophet HD, welcome to the party.
You know what, man? You know what? Before we do that, there's something I want to look at something that he said. Barker Raider said something else that was actually, he said Brett Yormark is on the WBC board and runs Heyman Sports. He's keeping Wilder away from Dillian Whyte. You know, I haven't heard of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's definitely something I'm gonna look into. You know, and if that is the case, this is a guy that is a part of Heyman Sports that's on the WBC board. That's a conflict of interest.
That's a serious conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, we know by the eye test once again that the WBC is actually, you know, catering to Deontay Wilder. That's a gimme.
Yeah, just like they catered to Canelo. So yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. But this right here is definitely a conflict of interest. That could definitely be something that it'd be worth looking into, man. I'm gonna look into that shit. Let's go to the next one, though. Let's go to the next one.
What you got for me, Pride?
Man, you know, I'm a little upset about this one, but I'm not upset with it. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm not upset is because this is going to be one fight closer to having an undisputed champion at 135, right? But the reason why I'm a little bit upset is because we get into that a little bit later. God, Clash Shango, we're going to get to that a little bit later. The one reason why I am a little bit upset is because Devin Haney deserves that title shot, dog. You know, if Luke Campbell and Devin Haney didn't already agree to fight, I think it was July 20th. You know what I'm saying? If they already didn't agree to meet each other in July, then I would have been like, hey, Vasily Lomachenko got it. But see, this is a clear example of how the sanctioning bodies don't give a fuck about the well-being of the fighters. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the WBC ordered, of course, Vasily Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell after Devin Haney and Luke Campbell already agreed to face each other this July, right? Now, the only thing they were waiting on was two things. Devin Haney fights May 25th. They were waiting to see if Devin Haney beats Antonio Moran, which he will, right? And then they were waiting on the WBC to approve it. Luke Campbell's ranked number 1. Devin Haney's ranked number 3. All right? They were just waiting on that. You know what I'm saying? And the WBC said, nah, little nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. Hey, Vasily, hey, come on over here, my nigga. Man, you always been my favorite fighter, man. We about to mandate that you get that third strap, dog. And Vasily like, what about Devin Haney? Man, fuck that nigga Devin Haney, man. That's exactly what the WBC said. You know what I'm saying? It pisses me off because it's supposed to be about the fighters, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the only time we should try to overwrite a situation, or the fans could petition that the organizations step in, or that athletic commission step in, or the network step in, is when we got dumbass shit like the WBC mandating Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale instead of Wilder and White, right?
Right.
We should be stepping in for that. But when you got Devin Haney and Luke Campbell actually agreeing to a fight, and this is a matchup that people don't mind seeing, and it's a matchup where you've got a young fighter in Devin Haney who's ready to step up, and it's a matchup where you got a veteran like Luke Campbell who's gone through his lumps and bruises with Ivan Mendy and Jorge Linares, and he's still willing to face an up-and-coming talented fighter like Devin Haney, you got to let that fight happen, man. Why not let that fight happen for an eliminator, right? Winner fights Vasyl Lomachenko for the WBC belt. Why not do that? Why do we just got to piss on Devin Haney? Hey, fuck out of here, little nigga. How old are you? 20, nigga? You ain't old enough to drink yet, bro. Fuck out of here, nigga. They sunned him like that, bro. They sunned him like that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Out here fucking Black China and shit. Get out of here, man.
Hey, that's the worst decision he ever made in his life, bro.
No, no, man. She got a big old ass, man.
That's an ugly bitch, though, man. But my point is, I just feel like when the fighters already make an agreement to face each other, I think that should come first, especially when it's an excellent matchup. You know what I'm saying? But I can't get too mad at it because I am all for an undisputed champion, dog. And this is just one step closer to getting that, man. What do you think, Bo?
See, this is a tough one for me because I didn't like it when the WBA didn't go down their ranking systems and they allowed that vacant title to be part of Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko. They should have went down the ranking. They should have said, hey, number 1 and number 2 fight for the vacant belt. That's what the WBO did. That's why Joseph Parker got that belt, right?
Well, number 2 is I can't think of his name, but he's going through Ramadan right now, so he couldn't fight Luke Campbell.
He couldn't fight. He was going through Ramadan.
Right.
This is a situation where the WBC is picking to choose what to do because let's just keep it real and keep it a buck. Putting the belt on Vasyl Lomachenko, he's the better known fighter at that division right now.
Right.
Okay. When it comes to money, which is what they love with them sanctioning fees, he's the better known fighter. But that shouldn't be what makes you discuss this when 2 fighters agree that, listen, after our fight, we agree to fight each other in July. They didn't even, the ink wasn't even dry on the fucking agreement papers when them motherfuckers came out. Oh, no. We gonna let Vasyl Lomachenko do it.
Yeah, bro. It's okay. we reported on it, so of course the WBC knew by then. You know what I'm saying? They immediately took action. Immediately. It was crazy, man.
Yeah. So again, I'm not mad at the fact because, and let me put it like this: I'm not gonna blame Lomachenko because Bob petitioned to the WBC for him to fight for that vacant belt.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and get mad at Lomachenko, right? I'm not going to say, hey, man, you know, this is what it is. Because at the end of the day, you know, Lomachenko has no control of this. This is the situation that happened. But at the same time, I don't like the fact that the WBC is taken away from a young guy. And then not only did they do that, they had issued a tournament that these guys are going to fight in to become Mando. So wait a minute. So not only are you going to say, fuck it, for these 2 guys fighting, the guy that's right behind this dude is going to have to fight in a tournament to discover the Mando?
Right.
That's the part that bugs me. Now, if you want to do it and say, hey, Loma's going to fight Luke Campbell, and then by this time, the guy from Ramadan should be back, so he's going to fight Devin Haney for, you know, in the title eliminator for Mando. Okay, fine. I wouldn't have okay, cool.
That's probably what they're going to do, actually.
Well, apparently they supposed to have ordered some type of tournament, and they named a couple fighters that got to fight in the tournament to discover this Mando. Okay. So, but you know, I don't know, man. I'm kind of caught because again, it's the path toward him becoming undisputed. And wait a minute, let me keep one thing in mind, you guys. Let me keep one thing in mind. Lomachenko had been trying to fight Mikey Garcia too.
Yes, he has.
He had been trying to get that fight with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, you know, was doing some other shit. Mikey Garcia was looking at Errol Spence and all of that, right? Yep. So he was trying to fight Mikey back, and this is back when Mikey held both the 2 titles, when he had the IBF and the WBC. So he was trying to fight motherfucking Mikey Garcia. As a matter of fact, his next fight was supposed to have been fucking Richard Comey, but Comey. People talk to him, say, "Hold on, man, no, bro, no." Mad pussy right now.
Yeah, boy.
We not finna get this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we was eating. You know what I'm saying? We was eating 4 6-ounce steaks. Now we eating porterhouse. No, hold on to this for a minute.
Richard Comey is on some shit. That boy over there in Ghana right now, walking around butt ass naked.
Right. So, and listen, I understand it's easy to criticize Loma, but this situation, this is not his fault right here.
Yeah.
But I do not like the fact that Devin Haney actually fought his way into this position. Luke Campbell fought his way into this position, and the WBC did this to him. But at the same time, like you said, because I know Lomachenko had been trying to get a hold of Mikey, okay, he said he wants to go for undisputed. If you somebody that wants to see guys go for undisputed, it's hard to be against this. I just don't like that the WBC did this in this fashion when they could have waited to see, okay, these two guys agree, you know, let's see what happens. And then you do this, but on the flip side, when it comes to Whyte and Wilder, you like, oh, well, no, I don't like it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, I'm just in the middle, man. I got a case for both. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, at the end of the day, let's just, I mean, like I said, man, I told cats, I said, Luke Campbell is better than Anthony Crolla, but he's still not on the level of a Lomachenko. So I would have loved to see Devin Haney and how he would have fared against a veteran like Luke Campbell. I believe Vasyl Lomachenko is already a couple levels ahead of Luke Campbell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not very excited about that fight. You know what I'm saying? But the Haney one, I was definitely excited because it was time for Haney to step up anyway. You know what I'm saying? And he was willing to do that for a belt. Actually, I believe the stipulations of his contract with DAZN was that they pretty much tried to get him that Luke Campbell fight for the WBC belt, right? So it was definitely something that I wanted to see, man. But it is what it is. I'm going to go to the comment section because I see my man Triple J and Prophet HD going at it. And it was Stems from Triple J's comment saying Loma's road to undisputed is harder than Crawford's was at 140 pounds. Facts. What do you think about that, Bo? That's a good statement.
It's a good statement.
I got my answer, but I want you to go first.
It's a good statement. Here's the thing. To me, that's subjective because,
of course,
I actually rate Victor Postal higher than Pedraza when he
I agree
at that time.
I agree.
He also beat Ricky Burns, so I think Ricky Burns and Pedraza is kind of the same. And then of course he fought. What's the cat name? Julius Ndongo. And Julius Ndongo had won back-to-back titles in the 6 month time span and was undefeated. So when you, I mean, it's subjective. To me, I would say the only reason why if I was giving the edge to Lomachenko is because of Jorge Linares.
Yeah, Jorge Linares, you got a 135-pound champion who was lineal champion at that time. Absolutely.
Right. He was a unified champion and a lineal champion, but I think he was, because matter of fact, he was champion in recess with the WBC or Emilio stat.
No, okay, I think he was because that's why they were trying to
make him and Mikey.
Yeah, make him and Mikey get it on. Yeah. That's possible. But I think that gives him the edge because of that right there. But I will say this, you know, Terrence Crawford didn't beat any lineal champion to get to undisputed. But I will say this, it's one of them situations where we're talking after the fact. A lot of folks discredited Julius Ndongo, right?
Right.
After he lost to Terrence Crawford the way he did. Then when he went out there and lost to Regis Prograis, it was a situation where they were like, man, this nigga sucked ever since this nigga was born. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it got real bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where it's after the fact. Before he fought Crawford, Julius Ndongo was the hottest thing in the division. He was hotter than Terrence Crawford because of the weight and fashion. He won 2 belts in a matter of 6 months. That shit was ridiculous. So he was the hottest thing. I mean, you had what's his name? Blood Boxing. Blood Boxing out there advocating for him and making video after video. I got tired of this shit after a while. Making video after video after video after video about Julius Ndongo trying to push him.
What do you mean as soon as he stepped up, he got, what are you talking about? When he stepped up, he got stopped. He fought Crawford. That was he was a unified champion when he fought Crawford. What are you talking about? He beat Ricky Burns and then he beat Trovanovsky.
Right.
So how can you say
Ndongo? Yeah, he stepped up.
He got stopped. What are you talking about? He He had won 2 belts back to back. From one guy was a guy that many people thought Crawford didn't want to fight, and Trovanovsky. And Trovanovsky was undefeated, knocked him out in the first round. Then under 6 months, went to the UK and won another motherfucking belt.
Yeah, Ricky Burns. So that's what I'm saying. The point is, it's after the fact, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cats are like, yeah, we see how he fights now. He sucked back then. They always equate the two. You ever heard motherfuckers say, man, this guy beat fighter A, beat fighter B, but fighter B ain't shit because look at what he's doing now. And I always got to go back and tell niggas it doesn't matter what the fuck he's doing now. What matters is what he was then when he lost. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people are doing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if he fought anybody, William Sebastian. The point is that Eduard Troyanovsky was an undefeated IBF champion at the time. Julius Ndongo was less known than Troyanovsky was, man.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Ndongo was actually supposed to be a guy Troyanovsky was going to run over. And the fight was in Troyanovsky's backyard, and he went over there and knocked him out with 1 punch. You see what I'm saying? So the point is, he did something when he was ranked and rated a lot less than the 2 guys he beat to become a unified champion in just 6 months. You can't tell me Ricky Burns is a nobody. You know what I'm saying? And don't give me that he's old shit. He's still fighting to this day. So that's like saying Bernard Hopkins was old when he lost to Joe Calzaghe. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker went on to become a lightweight champion or light heavyweight champion, ended up being the oldest champion in boxing history after that. So come on, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get real with some of the statements y'all say. At the end of the day, though, I would give Loma the edge just because Linares was a lineal champion.
That's the only reason why I give him the edge.
And Terrence Crawford didn't have to be the lineal champion. That's the only reason.
Yeah, only reason why I give him the edge.
Yeah. All right, Bo, what you got for me next, bro?
All right, man. No, I went
last, nigga.
All right, my bad.
So, Otis, don't complain any fucking way, nigga. Even if I'm wrong, just say the next topic.
Man, Jarrett Hurd has already got motherfuckers fucking with him about Jermell Charlo fight. Like Charlo is supposed to be fighting Harrison in a rematch, and they already fucking with him. Already.
Yeah.
Man, what's going on out here? Wait a minute. So basically what y'all saying is Charlo just finna go in there and win that rematch and now it's on with her? No, because Tony Harrison proves something. Tony Harrison showed us something, which is we talk about styles make fights. That was a bad stylistic matchup. Right. Because Charlo is starting to believe that he can knock you the fuck out. And if you look at Tony Harrison, he's a very good boxer. Hell, in the fight with Jarrett Hurd, he was doing good. He just, from a mental standpoint, he checked out. And that fight with Willie Nelson, he was winning that fight. He just got caught.
Yeah.
So he's a very good boxer. He's the taller fighter with the longer arm reach, and we saw him use that reach. He showed some of his ring IQ because he used that reach. And when I thought he was going to check out, he didn't. And even Charlo and them thought that this dude was going to give up and check out toward the end, and he didn't. So he has the advantage here because he knows what he needs. Like Harrison really ain't got to do nothing different, in my opinion. All he got to do is go out there and fight the same fight. Charlo's going to have to make some adjustment because he's got to get inside that jab. He's got to get inside them combinations.
Right.
He's got, you know what Charlo got to do? Charlo got to become something he's not used to being, which is an inside fighter.
Yeah. Hold on, Bo. I when people say shit, it's like having an itch in the middle of your back.
Okay, and what's that?
My arms are too big. I can't reach back there and scratch the middle of my back. So I got to get a back scratcher, or I got to use the corner of a wall and shit to get that itch. My man William Sebastian said Eduard Troyanovsky still getting knocked out to this day. Bro, he only lost. No, ain't got nothing. No. Don't comment, Bo. He's wrong. Troyanovsky hasn't gotten knocked out again. He fought Kiro Relic in the first round of the WBSS and lost by split decision. That's his only other loss besides the knockout to Julius and Dom. Anyway, go ahead, Bo. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out what
I just had to scratch it.
Like him getting knocked out, what that got to do with what happened with Julius and Dongo? That has nothing to do with who he was when he fought in Dongo. No, like that's the point we be talking about. Is like what happens after a motherfucker beat you has nothing to do with who you was at that time. Nonito Donaire was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Right? But then all of a sudden Rigo beat him.
Hey,
he
it's
got
okay.
knocked out by Waters. What'd you say?
It's okay. I just had to scratch the itch, man. That's it.
Okay. Well,
you know
no, I'm just saying that you can't.
He lost by unanimous decision, by the way. I gotta correct
Most
myself.
definitely. But what I'm saying is fans got to stop this judging a dude accomplishment based off what happened after that. That has nothing to do with who you was in that fucking moment. That's like that's like if we playing Madden and I'm the fucking champion, I'm the beast, right? And I'm the champion. What fuck it, the Super Bowl, right? Let's say you beat the motherfucker, the Patriots lose in the fucking Super Bowl, right? They lose in the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl last year, went 16-0 all the way to the Super Bowl and lost to the fucking Giants. Right. So then if the Patriots go 0-8 the next season, you don't say, well, the Giants shouldn't have won. The Giants shouldn't be Super Bowl champions because look at the Patriots now. No, that has nothing to do with who they was when the motherfuckers got their ass whooped.
Right.
We got to stop that. But yeah, man. So yeah, Jarrett Hurd, man. Are people overlooking Tony Harrison? Are people already foaming? I mean, dare I say it, dog? Have the judges already been bought?
Judges been bought? Man. Nah. Ain't nobody buying no fucking judges for Jermell Charlo. Hell nah.
I'm just saying, man, because the way they talking, they acting like it's a foregone conclusion, man, that Charlo is gonna win and there's gonna be Charlo and Hurd. Now, honestly speaking, Hurd versus either Charlo or Harrison is a very good fucking fight, in my honest opinion. I mean, he'd be fighting Harrison the second time, but I think this Harrison, it would be a lot different because this dude is showing me some I
don't want to see Harrison Hurd. Listen, man, once you quit one time, I don't really want to see you fight the fighter you quit against again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was actually, you know, I know you was old enough, my nigga, but I was a little nigga. You know what I'm saying? If I would have seen, if I was old enough to comprehend watching Roberto Duran tax that ass the first time, and you know what I'm saying, and then
Sugar Ray?
Yeah, and then I hear Sugar Ray.
Yep. I was a little nigga when I was watching that fight on TV.
Right, I hear Sugar Ray come out talking about, I'm scared of Roberto Duran. Well, then I don't want to see him fight the nigga again. If after the second fight, Sugar Ray Leonard makes Roberto Duran quit, say no mas, I definitely don't want to see no goddamn trilogy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to see Tony Harrison fight a nigga he quit against. To me, I don't want to see him fight Willie Nelson, and I don't want to see him fight Jarrett Hurd again. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a lot of people are trying to make it seem like Jermell Charlo is going to define whatever legacy that Jarrett Hurd ends up having. And that's just not true. Jarrett Hurd has already defied the odds when he defeated Arislan de Lara. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those guys that thought Arislan de Lara was going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? And he almost did. If Lara would have stayed on his feet, he probably would have won that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's already done something that when just like, let's say this, just like a high school basketball, high school football, right? They got like a prospect report for each one of these top recruits coming out of high school, for that respective sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, Jarrett Hurd wasn't even high enough as a prospect in boxing, you know what I'm saying, in the amateurs to even have a fucking report, let alone did they believe he would ever become a unified champion in the professional ranks. Jarrett Hurd was barely winning state titles and shit, you know what I'm saying, over in Maryland. Barely winning, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have a really good amateur career. He even himself said, I wasn't even taking boxing that seriously at one point in time. Wasn't until, I believe, his mentor died. That's when he took boxing seriously. You know what I'm saying? His mentor was a really good fighter, but he ended up passing away. All right. It was his coach or something like that. I can't remember. I think it was his coach passed away. And then a guy that was a really good fighter that he was in the gym with ended up training him. That's how it worked. So that guy stopped boxing. They came to an agreement and said, I'll train you, you fight. And that's where they're at today. It's the same guy that's in his corner now. You know what I'm saying? And ever since that happened, that's when he said he started taking boxing seriously. So at the end of the day, Jarrett Hurd has already defied so many fucking odds right now. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, yo, Jarrett Hurd, and to me, he's one of those guys that fights anybody any day of the week at any time. You know what I'm saying? So he has that supporting his character and his legacy. Right now, he's one of the most, in my opinion, the most successful boxers in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? Just based on his background, what people didn't think he was going to be able to accomplish. Looking at his style, people were like, man, he's going to get fucked up once he gets to the elite ranks. And he's still undefeated. He's still winning. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the most accomplished. You know? So, to be honest with you, Jarrett Hurd doesn't even need to fight Jermell Charlo. Right? And remember, he said in 2020, he's going up to 160. So, Jarrett Hurd moves up to 160 in 2020. You still got Canelo there. You got Demetrius Andrade. You got Jermell Charlo. I mean, those two guys I mentioned before are DAZN fighters. So you got Jermell Charlo, PBC there. If he don't fight Jermell, he can fight Jermell. That's a better fight, in my opinion. Jermell is the better fighter. So I'd rather see that fight. If he goes to 160, bypasses Jermell, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, this fight doesn't define. Jarrett Hurd don't even need Jermell. Jermell still need to beat fucking Tony Harrison. You know what I'm saying? And he needs to beat him convincingly. No, not no 7-5 the way I had it the first time. I had Jermell Charlo winning 7-5. He needs to beat the guy convincingly.
See, yeah, because I had Tony Harrison winning 7-5.
Right.
It's just a difference of but there was a lot of swing rounds there though. So that's just a difference of maybe a round or two that we saw differently, which is still, that's not to say that, you know, you don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. 7-5 is pretty fucking close. You're only talking the difference of a round or two.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go to the next one, man. They going off in the chat. I'm trying to follow them, man. Triple J, do me a favor, man. Tell me what your last comment is referring to, so I can follow what y'all are talking about in the chat.
The one we say is not giving us the fights we want.
Yeah, tell me what that's referring to.
They're talking about profit, and
I know. I know they're not talking to us. I'm trying to figure out where they're, you know.
He said something about Lomachenko is trying to avoid certain types of style.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Prophet HD said something about he said Loma is good. I just don't like the way Loma has been moving as of late. He is obviously avoiding certain style fighters, not saying Loma is not a good fighter. He said, I just don't like that he isn't giving us the fights we want and people are okay with it.
So what, okay, I'm trying to think, what fights is it that Loma's not giving us that we want? I mean, I wanted to see him fight Tank. That's not Loma's fault though. You know what I'm saying? And I know Prophet HD gonna go against that because I think Prophet HD is from Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And you going Prophet HD, if you ain't heard,
that conversation
I be getting on Tank's ass constantly on this channel. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that statement.
By the way, bro, we interviewed Malik Hawkins. If you're from Baltimore, you know who that is, Prophet. We interviewed Malik Hawkins, man. It's on Facebook. Go ahead and check that out, man. But anyway, I don't think it's Loma's fault that we don't got Tank. In my opinion, it's Floyd Mayweather's fault. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather is the guy that's keeping Tank away from Loma. The other fight we wanted to see was Mikey Garcia. Well, Mikey Garcia moved up to 147 and fought Errol Spence. And then even after that,
first he went to 140, then 140. He went to 140, came back down, then went to 147.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. He fought Sergey Limpinets instead. Right. So, now with him losing to Errol Spence, Vasyl Lomachenko kept calling out Mikey Garcia. I wrote about, or at least we published about 5 articles surrounding Lomachenko and Anthony Crolla going into the week of that fight. And on each one of those articles, I had quoted Lomachenko calling out Mikey Garcia for that WBC strap. You know what I'm saying? So what fights is he not giving us that we're looking for? I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez, man, I agree with him on that. Teofimo ain't done shit yet. What the fuck you gonna fight him for?
I agree with him on that.
He ain't done shit yet. Get your game, get your fucking weight up, B. Then we can talk about fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. Bro. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next one.
What you got for me, dog? Hit me, Prodigy.
Man, dog. The little guys, man. I try to tell guys to pay attention to oh, you know what? Let me go back one more. I want to get this out there before I jump into that topic. Miguel Berchelt and Jezreel Corrales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Jezreel Corrales ended up losing his belt to fucking Alberto Machado, right?
Machado.
Lomachenko was going to fight both of those guys. Jezreel Corrales pulled out. I think he got injured. I can't remember. But I know Miguel Berchelt definitely got injured. You know what I'm saying? So what fight are we waiting on? All of these guys that we want him to fight and materialize, and they're not exactly his fault. Some of them are, most of them not. All right. Anyway, let me get back in this shit, though. I keep telling Cass about the little guys, man. Pay attention to the little guys, man. They got some of the best fights you guys want to see. You know what I'm saying? Juan Francisco Estrada, the new WBC 115-pound champion, who just easily outboxed the shit out of, pound for pound, Sariskis or Rungvisai, who's now not pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? And most likely Estrada is. He just called out one of the more dominant champions in the division, Jerwin and Cajas. Bro, that's a dope-ass fight, nigga. Hey, if that fight gets made, that's going to be one of them situations where I tell everybody, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me for about... On that Saturday, don't talk to me, nigga. I got fights to watch.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want no messages. I don't want no talking in my house. Don't fucking send me no messages on my phone. No. Don't call my phone. I'm busy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's an excellent matchup. That's an excellent unification bout. Even if he doesn't get Jerwin and Cajas, you still got other cats there. You got the winner of fucking Kazuto Ioka and Aston Palikte. You got Donny Nietes, who dropped the WBO belt so he could get the winner of Estrada and Rungvisai. Man, dog, you got Cal Yafai there, dog. There's some dope-ass matchups that could be fucking made. But this one right here, and Cajas, I think it's his sixth. He's going for his sixth title defense of the IBF title. He's one of the more dominant champions in the division. I think he's the longest reigning champion there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he won his belt back in what, 2000? Is it 2016? When he win?
I know he beat McJoe Arroyo. I just don't remember when it was.
It was 2016 when he beat Majoro, because Majoro Arroyo was undefeated, and Majoro Arroyo was the better of the Marora brothers. Because I remember that because after that his other brother had won a fight. We was like, damn. Because remember he took that 2-year layoff and had came back and won a fight. Like, that didn't good. So yeah, that was a 2016. I'm trying to
this
Cal Yafai. No, that's because Cal Yafai had so you're right. He is one of the longest reigning champions.
He's the longest reigning champion. He's got 5 title defenses. He's going for a 6th one.
Nietes dropped that WBO belt?
Yeah. And that's what Kazuto Ioka and Aston Palikte are fighting for, the vacant WBO belt. So, and then you got Rungvisai, that was the WBC. Yeah. He's the longest reigning champion at 115 right now, Jerwin and Cajas. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, bro, you got a technical fighter. We actually got 2 fucking technical fighters. But Jerwin and Cajas is one of those guys that can dominate you at mid-range distance. You know what I'm saying? And this if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the Jamie Collin fight. He fucked that dude up.
He beat that
You know what I'm saying? He beat Jamie Collin up so goddamn bad that motherfucker said, fuck fighting. I'm about to go work for MTK Global.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go work for MTK Global. I don't want to box no more.
That's exactly what he did. He has not boxed since that Jerwin and Cajas fight.
Exactly. So yeah, this you got 2 technical motherfuckers. You got one that can beat your ass up from the inside. You got another one that can actually fight from inside mid-range distance. Also can step on the outside and utilize counterpunching as he did against Rungvisai in this rematch. Bro, this is an excellent fucking fight. And this is, again, another indication of how when you watch these smaller weight divisions, man, these niggas not fucking around down there. They're not doing no Oscar De La Hoya shit. Well, we got one more belt until undisputed. We're going to look at other guys right now. You know, they're not doing no bullshit. You know, Tyson Fury fights Deontay Wilder and then signs a fucking deal with ESPN. And now Bob Arum's like, well, we're not looking at that fight till, February 2020. They're not doing no shit where you got motherfuckers like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao talking about fighting in 2009 and we don't get the goddamn fight until 2015. They don't do that down there. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers say we want to fight, they fucking fight, dog. So that's why I tell cats, pay attention to the lower weight divisions, bro. Because if this motherfucker goes down, which I think it will, because Jerwin and Cajas has been talking about he wants a big fight ever since he won his belt. He's been talking about he wants a big fight. This fight goes down, bro. This could most definitely be a fight of the year candidate. What you think, man?
Man, here's the reality of it, dog. When you look at that super flyweight division, the best dude holding the belt right now is Jerwin and Cajas.
Yep.
And Estrada knows that. That's why the first thing he said was, I want in Cajas, but he said, if I can't get him, I'll take some of the other champions. But I most definitely want in Cajas. And I was foaming at the mouth, if you recall, when we was talking about a possible matchup between Cajas and Runvasai. I was foaming at the mouth. So but this to me is even better because Estrada, the Estrada that we know, is fucking back. We saw him in the Runvasai fight. Okay, so he's back. So when you get that dude, where it's technically sound as he is, and you get him in there with Jerwin and Cajas, and Jerwin and Cajas is not only technical, Jerwin and Cajas' defense is also very goddamn good. Okay, so that fight right there, man, that's I'm with you, dog. When that fight take down, don't fucking talk to me. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, here's the motherfucking wallet, here's the car keys. You motherfuckers stay gone until this shit is over. Don't bother me, because this is the best fucking fight at the lower weight division that you can have. At the 115-pound division, this is the best fight. Like, to me, whoever wins this fight, lineal champion. Fuck the bullshit. Lineal motherfucking champion. Because these are the two best motherfucking champions right there, right now. A little snippet though. I think if the fight goes down, the only thing Estrada gotta watch out for is them counters. Better watch Jerwin and Cajas' counterpunching ability. Don't underestimate that boy's counter, because a couple of times Runvasai was able to catch him, but they were slapped. They were more like slaps. And Cajas don't slap. He hits your ass.
No, he don't.
He hitting your ass.
I mean, and Cajas kind of reminds me, he's not as good, but he kind of reminds me of Kosei Tanaka, how he dominates that mid-range distance, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker's a beast, man. I tell niggas, man. I don't understand it, but I don't know why motherfuckers don't.
I don't know, William Epstein. I don't know if Estrada beats in Cajas, man. I don't know. I don't know
either, man. I don't know, bro. And Cajas is a beast, man.
He's a beast, dog.
That's a definite 50-50, bro. And that's an excellent fight for a unification bout. You know what I'm saying? That's something I would love to see that. And Bo mentioned it's one of the best in the smaller weight divisions. We're not gonna jump all the way in this topic. We're gonna jump into the fight breakdowns and predictions that are happening this weekend. But one of the more bigger fights that could happen in unifications is at 108 pounds, Hiroto Kawaguchi and Kenshiro. That is fucking ridiculous too.
Goddamn right.
And both of them are talking about possibly doing a unification bout in December. Bro, that's ridiculous, man. I'm telling you, man.
That's beyond ridiculous.
I think guys see how small these guys are, and they're not attracted to the fight. I think that's what it is. I want to see these two little niggas fight. But then, to me, size don't matter, bro. I'm just trying to see a fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? I like technical fights. Hell, sometimes I even like rock'em sock'em. Depends on the day. You know what I'm saying? But I really like
divisions. You kind of get both.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, you get both. You get a variance, bro, of both. You know, rock'em sock'em technical. You got guys in there, you know, fighting at mid-range distance, not getting hit like Kosei Tanaka. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's ridiculous, man. I just don't understand why guys don't watch the small divisions. They're much more exciting than the higher divisions. The higher divisions. Let me say this. You know, parts of a game are controlled by certain entities, and then another part of the game is not controlled. You know what I'm saying? And boxing, the smaller weight divisions aren't really controlled by these major entities, you know, buying off judges and paying fighters to take dives and shit. It happens, but it doesn't happen nowhere near as what we see at like middleweight, heavyweight, light heavyweight, etc. Welterweight. Doesn't happen like it happens up there. So while we're up here only watching these divisions getting mad and shit when Canelo gets Adelaide Bird type scorecards and shit against Golovkin, that shit ain't happening in these lower weight divisions. That's what I'm saying, man. You have to watch those guys, man. All right, man, we're going to jump into the fight breakdowns and predictions.
I'm skipping number 2. I'm telling you that right now.
Hey, nah, you ain't skipping that one, bro. Hey, you going to have to get your fair assessment. Matter of fact, we're going to start off with number 2. Emanuel Navarrete said, cool, I'll give his ass a rematch. Gonna go the same way. I'm gonna fuck the little nigga up like I did the first time.
I gotta use the bathroom.
I don't exactly right. Right. Emanuel Navarrete versus Isaac Dogboe Part 2. Now, one thing I will say is this. The little nigga been running around saying Neho, Neho, Neho. He been doing it a hell of a lot more than he was in the first fight or before the first fight. Because before the first fight, he said he didn't take training seriously. Now, he did say, no excuses. It's my fault that I fucked up, right?
Yep.
It's my fault that I fucked up. I didn't take training seriously the way that I should have. He said, but if they give me a rematch, I'm most definitely going to take training seriously. I've been keeping my eye on Dogboe. This nigga all over the place. Neho, Neho. You know what I'm saying? Training is on point for this fight, B. What do you think, Bo? Does he actually defeat Navarrete, the guy he was supposed to beat the first time?
It's a toughie, man. This is a toughie, man. This is a toughie, man.
You don't want to jump out there on that limb again like you did the first time.
Hold on, wait a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. 1 second, man.
Triple J said Dogboe gonna be yelling no mo.
All right. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. All right. So you was talking up so much I had to send my man a message. All right, so check this out, man. Here's the thing. Dogboe is gonna have to go into this fight. The Dogboe that we saw against Jesse Magdaleno, because Emanuel Navarrete did something that he never did in any fight. He used his height, his range, and his distance. He did not allow himself to get lured into a firefight, which is what can happen to him sometimes. He gets lured into them firefights, which is why I picked Dogboe to win, because I said, man, if he gets lured into a firefight, giving up his height and reach, that plays right into Dogboe's hands. But Emanuel Navarrete, not only did he outfight him, he straight beat Dogboe. Right now, shout out to Melissa, who's Dogboe's publicist, who I'm cool with. She said that the reason why Dogboe's eye or whatever it was swole up because he was allergic to something, they was using something in the corner. Regardless of the fact, it still doesn't matter from a mental standpoint. Dogboe is going to have to overcome a lot from a mental standpoint, because not only did you get beat, you got beat bad, and that a lot of fighters don't necessarily come back from that. So this is a tough one for me to pick, because I've been watching how he's been training. Like you said, I've been watching his Neho. It seems that he is taking his fight seriously. He's gotten back. But at the same time, you got a cat named Emanuel Navarrete who feels like, well, shit, I ain't trying to give up this belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. Emanuel Navarrete could have been like, well, no, I'm not going to give you the rematch. I'm going to make a title defense, and then we're going to see what happens. Exactly. You know, he's like, shit, no, I'm not worried about it. You want me to rematch you? Cool. I'll rematch you. I ain't worried about it.
That was some G shit by Navarrete, man.
Yeah, he's like, you want to rematch him? Cool, I'll rematch you. Shit, because think about Emanuel Navarrete, normally with Top Rank, when you want to fight one of their fighters, they make you sign like a code. That didn't happen with Emanuel Navarrete.
Right.
They wasn't even worried about it. So Emanuel Navarrete could have been like, no, man, I'm good. You know, I'm gonna make a title defense. Then he's like, no, I ain't worried about you, G. Want to run it back? Let's run it back. So he already knows I got the game plan to beat you. All I got to do is continue to follow that game plan. You got to prove to me that you're going to show me something different. And that's where the problem, I think, for Dogboe is going to come in, is he's going to have to show Emanuel Navarrete something that he didn't show him in that first fight. And Dogboe can sometimes be one of those fighters that he can get one dimension. He can get one dimension because he be so focused on trying to accomplish what he worked on in the gym with his dad, that he can become one-dimensional just by being overly focused on trying to do one thing. So it's a tough fight for me. I'm gonna go ahead on and make a prediction. And my prediction is
Don't be I was just about to get on you, man. You better not pull that shit you pulled. I forgot what fight that was. This nigga said
a draw.
Yeah,
I said it's gonna be a draw.
I have a draw. What the fuck is a nigga? What the fuck is a draw?
I think just out of sheer knowing that he needs to win this fight, I think Dogboe pulls this one out because he knows he needs this fight. He still got that contract with Top Rank. Yeah, he understands what he did wrong, and it now even though I'm questioning his mental state, it takes a lot to lose the way he lost, and then say, "Hey man, I want this rematch." And when a fighter, because Kovalov did it for me too, when a fighter understands what they did wrong, it makes it easier to go into training camp to make the necessary adjustments.
I agree.
That's what Kovalov realized what he did wrong with Elena Alvarez, and he went right back into training camp and made the necessary adjustments. So Isaac Dogboe immediately said, "I know what I did wrong," and then made no excuses. So that makes it easier to go into training camp and focus on what you need to make your adjustments. So I think Dogboe wins this fight, man. But I wouldn't be surprised if Emanuel Navarrete wins again, because right now, dog, the way he fought, I mean, once you get a blueprint like that in your head, it's hard to get it out.
Well, I'm gonna take what you said about Kovalev, Alida Alvarez, and Kovalev was winning that goddamn fight, just got caught, so it's a little bit easier for him to make the adjustment, with Buddy McGirt and the rematch, right? Here, Isaac Dogboe got the dust beat off his ass, nigga.
I won't say the dust, but he took a pretty good pounding.
Nah, bro, they didn't need no duster for this shit, nigga. Hey, you know how you take the carpet outside and you put that bitch on the line and you beat the fuck out of it? That's exactly what Navarrete had. That nigga Dogboe bent over that line, nigga, was beating his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what happened.
That's prodigy over.
I'm just saying, all this dust was flying off fucking Dogboe, bro. The whole fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo back in the day. They didn't have blood.
Yeah.
Sega had blood. Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo had like this gray shit flying. Me and my brother used to call it dust. That's exactly what happened, nigga.
Oh man.
But no, anyway, man, yeah, definitely. GM Strong said something earlier. He said bob and weave is exactly what Dogboe is going to have to do. Dogboe is going to have to be completely unorthodox, which he already is, right? But the problem was against Navarrete in the first fight, he was completely one-dimensional. He was like, oh man, I got to get around this jab and get inside. That's what he kept thinking in his head. And his body wouldn't follow suit in terms of trying to be or having to be unorthodox. He wasn't feinting. He wasn't providing any angles. Like my man GM Strong said, he wasn't bobbing and weaving. He didn't apply any of those things. He was walking in a straight line directly towards Emanuel Navarrete, and all he was doing was throwing a jab out there and just moving. You see what I'm saying? So he's most definitely going to have some tricks up his sleeve, being a guy that is much shorter than Navarrete. I mean, it's like a 5 or 6 inch difference, man. It's huge. You know what I'm saying? The weight, the reach advantage is fucking huge. You know what I'm saying? For Navarrete, he's going to have to put a lot of tricks out of his sleeve in order to stagnate Navarrete, right? In order to keep him his back pinned up against those ropes, right? The last thing he wants is this fight to be in the middle of the ring. He wants to have Navarrete fighting off his back foot. That's what he wants. If Navarrete is sitting there pulling angles, stepping back, throwing a jab, lateral movement, stepping back, throwing a jab, he's going to have problems, bro. He's not going to be able to get around that jab. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to have to do a lot of different things to keep Navarrete's back on the ropes, to keep the fight out of the middle of the fucking ring. Navarrete, all he's got to do is do whatever the fuck he did in the first fight. Same shit. Rinse and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Rinse and repeat. All you got to do is just, hey, this little nigga trying to get inside me. Here you go, hit that jab, bro. There it is again. Hey, what? You sidestep? Another jab. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do, bro.
Yep.
Bo, I'm going with Navarrete, man.
Get the fuck out of here. You going against the grain?
Yeah, I'm going against the grain, bro. I got Navarrete, bro. I just, listen, man. From what I seen in that first fight, right? From what I seen in that first fight, you have a 5 or 6 inch height disadvantage and like a fucking 5 or 6 or 7 inch reach disadvantage. I don't think any type of training Dogboe does can keep him from getting hit by that goddamn jab, bro, and that straight right. It won't keep him from getting hit by that, bro. Listen, Dogboe is a fighter that does well against guys that are still around his height and reach. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because a lot of the things that he does, he can confuse those fighters into, you know, getting caught into a firefight, as Jesse Magdaleno. You see what I'm saying? Jesse Magdaleno is actually a pretty good boxer from the outside. Yeah. But Dogboe made him fight his type of fight. And that's why Magdaleno ended up getting knocked out, right? But Emanuel Navarrete, as we saw in the first fight, did not get tied into a firefight not one time in that fight. There were moments whenever Navarrete was backpedaling. He can't really fight off his back foot.
Yeah.
There's moments where he's backpedaling and Dogboe was able to get to him. But at the end of the day, Navarrete did an excellent job keeping the fight in the middle of the ring. To be honest with you,
he did.
To be honest with you, even if Dogboe didn't train very well, I still don't see why he wasn't able to get at Navarrete, other than the fact that Navarrete had the perfect game plan. So what I'm saying to you is, in order for Dogboe to win this fight, Navarrete has to pretty much stray from his game plan. If he does the same thing he did in the first fight, he wins again, bro. If he strays from it, then that's when Dogboe's got a chance. I don't think he strays from it because it's too easy to continue it. You see what I'm saying? Literally, it's round 13. That's what this is, round 13. I got Navarrete, man. Another decision, bro. I can't wait to see this shit, bro.
I can't wait to see it either, man. Like I said it. Listen, I'm going with Dogboe because that's my dude. But I would not be surprised if Emanuel Navarrete, because the reality is, and you hit a very good point, over the course of, like, for instance, when, like, this isn't a situation like when we say Daniel Jacobs was only able to give it that performance against Gennady Golovkin. He'll never be able to repeat this again, right?
Right.
This is a totally different situation because this guy did this for 12 fucking rounds of a fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like there was no signs of where you said, okay, he's gonna lose. He's gonna, hell, even when Dogboe caught him and got him in trouble, like you said, he realized, okay, step out, reset. So you're right. The only Dogboe I think Dogboe can make some adjustments. Okay, even given with the 5 each reach advantage, I think he can make some adjustment with like feinting or you know, feinting, which would cause Navarrete to be hesitant to fully commit to the jab, so he can get inside, you know, pin him against the rope, get inside, maybe even try to bully him a little bit. But at the same time, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb, especially when a guy, like you said, knows, hey man, this all I got to do is right here. And granted, Emanuel Navarrete, which I fucking hate, because if you guys watch any other fight, Emanuel Navarrete did not fight like that, like he fought Dogboe.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, almost as if he waited to this fight to do that shit, you know. So yeah, man, it's going to be a tough mountain for Dogboe to climb. But props to Dogboe for wanting a rematch, and props to Navarrete for saying, hey man, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to my man Lord Zoe in the building and shit. My man Triple J said, I agree. Using natural advantages like the first fight, Dogboe closes the range and comes in, tie him up like a bitch and make him reset. Exactly. I'd be a hoe ass nigga in this fight if I'm Navarrete. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, nigga, too close. Give me a hug, bro. Give me a hug, man. I ain't seen you in a long time.
I'll be Lennox Lewis and shit, like Lennox Lewis. Vladimir Klitschko asses.
Hell yeah. Real talk. All right, man. Let's go to the next one. Miguel Berchelt versus Francisco Vargas Part 2. Now this should be quick, man. I didn't want to see this fight. I'm not interested in this fight. Francisco Vargas has won 2 fights, I believe, since he was beaten by Miguel Berchelt by knockout, I believe, 3 years ago or so. I know one of them fights was that bad motherfucker was Stephen Smith. I think that was a fight Stephen Smith had half of his fucking head was torn off his nigga, that nigga got hit by
technical draw.
Yeah, and he still wanted to fight too, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
I remember that shit. Half his head was missing, nigga. And then the next one was fucking
I'm gonna tell you how I remember that, because that's the same night Rigo quit from Knuckles.
Right. Yeah, it was. You sure? Yeah, you fucking right. That was on the undercard. Yeah, that was on the undercard. You fucking right. what's his name? Rod Selka came into the ring with that wall on his shorts.
Oh, dog. Oh, dog.
Yeah, Francisco Vargas beat the dog shit out that boy, man. So that I was laughing at that shit, bro. That shit like that is funny to me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that was.
I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. But yeah, he got his ass beat and shit, and now he's got another title fight and a rematch against Miguel Berchelt. But to me, Francisco Vargas has been on the decline. Watching his fights with Steven Smith and Rod Selka, even though he dusted off Rod Selka, the Steven Smith fight, I saw some things that showed me that he's got a little bit too much wear and tear on his body now. You know what I'm saying? The Miguel Berchelt loss was basically the straw that broke the camel's back, in my opinion. Remember, Francisco Vargas at one time was an undefeated fighter. He had back-to-back Fight of the Year candidate fights against Takashi Miura and Orlando Salido. You know what I'm saying? Both of those were Fight of the Years back-to-back, right? A lot of mileage on this guy. Then he went in there against Miguel Berchelt without no fucking tune-up. All three of those fights were back-to-back-to-back and got knocked the fuck out. That was it for me and rating Francisco Vargas as a guy who could still be a problem at 130 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I think Miguel Berchelt has only gotten better. The same thing you saw in the first fight is going to happen in this fight. You don't even have to break it down. It's common sense. You know what I'm saying? Francisco Vargas is a pressure fighter. That's what he knows. He can't box from the outside. He can't box from mid-range. You know what I'm saying? He's a pressure fighter. Miguel Berchelt's an excellent boxer from the outside, gives pretty good angles to the point where if I were to see him fight Vasily Lomachenko, the fact that he's able to give those angles was intriguing to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me want to see that fight. It's an excellent counterpuncher as well for guys coming in. He dusts off Francisco Vargas with ease, in my opinion. I'm going knockout maybe round 8. I think Francisco Vargas makes it a pretty decent account of himself, tries to survive, but when round 8 comes, it's gonna be night over for him. And what do you think?
I think this is a fight that Francisco Vargas know he got this fight. I mean, not Francisco, Miguel Berchelt know he got this fight. Here's the reality, man. I said this a while back. I felt that Golden Boy ruined Francisco Vargas when he put him in the third tough fight that he was in. It was, like you said, it was Takashi Miura. Then you turned around and you put him in a really hard fight against Orlando Salido. And then Miguel Berchelt was that third trifecta. Okay. And people, again, you can't look at a record. Well, he knocked out Mortar. Go watch the goddamn fight, man. That fight, he went through blood, sweat, and tears. He went to war in that fight, then went to another war. And then in the Miguel Berchelt, you can see where his body completely gave out on him. His will still wanted to go, but his body just gave out on him, right? Yeah, now he comes back and he fights Steve Smith. But even in that fight, with that Steve Smith fight being a technical draw, Steve Smith was giving him all he could fucking handle.
Exactly.
Right? Now, Rod Salka, he just ran him the fuck over. That was just pure because he was mad. And ever since then, Miguel Berchelt has improved after fighting Francisco Vargas. He fought Marta. He fought Jonathan Victor Barrios. He fought Miguel Roman. Okay. He took on some very good fights, and in each fight we saw the progression, the difference between him being a guy that was known as a slugger puncher and showed us this dude actually has some boxing skills, especially when he fought Marta. When he fought Takashi Marta, he showed me some feints. He showed me some movement, and he won by unanimous decision. I said, oh, shit, this dude just ain't nobody that's a power puncher. Same thing. Actually, it was beautiful how he set up Jonathan Victor Barrios for that motherfucking knockout.
Yeah, that was nice.
Beautiful. He set that shit up. He set it up. So you're talking about a guy who's a one-dimensional fighter fighting against a guy who, like I said, with Canelo Alvarez, his IQ is starting to catch up with his skill set. So yeah, I like Berchelt in this fight, and I think Berchelt. Only thing I don't want Berchelt going into this fight thinking, I knocked him out once, I'm not gonna forget again. I don't want him going in there thinking like that. But outside of that, no, man, I don't see a different outcome in this fight, which is funny because I see a different one for Isaac Dogboe, but not for this one.
Right. If he's smart, he won't think that way because the guy that he's got in front of him, he's fought him once before in a grueling ass fight. He's a pressure fighter and he's got a hard punch. So
Yeah.
that'll be stupid as fuck for him to go in there and think against a fighter like that. I knocked him out first time. I knocked him out the second time. That'd be dumb as fuck.
That'd be
But
real dumb, man.
I think he's a smart enough fighter not to do that. All right, man. Let's go to the last one. We got Jarrett Hurd versus Julian J. Rock Williams. Now this fight is real intriguing to me. It's intriguing because it really depends on what I can hear myself on your computer.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Go ahead.
It depends. It really depends on what Julian Williams is able to do. You know what I'm saying? If Julian Williams comes into this motherfucking fight and he's basically fighting Jarrett Hurd the same way that he fought. What's the motherfucker's name that he fought?
Who is that?
I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Nathaniel Gallimore.
Oh, okay.
If he goes in there fighting Jarrett Hurd like he fought Nathaniel Gallimore, he might get stopped. You know what I'm saying? But if he fights him like how he fought Ishe Smith, somewhat how he fought Ishe Smith, how he fought guys before he fought Jermell Charlo utilizing the jab. I mean, he's got one of the best jabs in the game, bro, but he doesn't utilize it enough. You know what I'm saying? If he's composed, don't try to attack Jarrett Hurd just because you've seen a bunch of guys like Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara, Tony Harrison attempt to utilize movement and they all failed. It doesn't mean you would fail at doing that. The one thing you don't want to do is attack Jarrett Hurd. You lose that fight. He's too big. Yes. Anybody at 154 loses that. The best way to beat Jarrett Hurd, even though 3 men have failed and one of them is an elite mover, Erislandy Lara, is to move and box. That's how you beat him. You just so happens motherfuckers ain't done it yet. But that's the game plan. Man, Julian Williams can do this, but I feel like he has that Philly mentality, which I told you before, why I thought Jermell Charlo was going to beat him before they fought. That Philly mentality, that alpha male shit is going to get him in trouble. It got him in trouble against Jermell Charlo. I believe it gets him in trouble here, dog. You know what I'm saying? That Philly mentality, it's good sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes you got to learn how to utilize your brain over brawn, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the problem here, man. Remember Meldrick Taylor, right? Yeah. Chavez, why do you think he got knocked out and Richard still stopped the fight? Philly mentality. You know what I'm saying? Yo, goddamn well, you won the fight, bro. Move, nigga. Why you sitting there slugging and fighting? Move around the ring. You see what I'm saying? You already got the fight in the bag. You already won. But he's sitting there, standing there up against the ropes, slugging and punching and trying to fight with Chavez, trying to show niggas he got nuts. He ended up getting knocked out. You know, Julian Williams might make the same mistake. Not sure if he gets knocked out. I'm not going to say Hurd knocks him out. But what I will say is Julian Williams is going to make a very good account of himself in this fight. I believe Breadman is going to tell him exactly what I'm telling him. Bro, you need to utilize your jab, your boxing ability. You got to stay out of harm's way, right? I think he's going to do that, but it's going to have an expiration date. Or let me say an expiration round. You know what I'm saying? And when that expiration round crosses, nigga, he's going to be the whole Philly mentality, alpha male shit is going to kick in. Jarrett Hurd is going to take over, man. I got Jarrett Hurd by unanimous decision, man. What do you think?
You know, the interesting thing about this fight is that Julian Williams can win this fight by outboxing Jarrett Hurd, and Jarrett Hurd actually is the guy with the longer arm reach. I think Jarrett Hurd has a 3 or 4 inch arm reach advantage over Julian Williams in this fight, but he's not known, you know, like we talk about, for being a boxer. I think Julian Williams, just like you said, for the first part of the fight, by him being like, if he can control that Philly attitude, if he can control that and not allow himself, because that's kind of what happened when it came to Jermell Charlo. Like you said, he actually landed some solid shots on Jermell Charlo. Like you said, that jab of his was giving Charlo cause to pause, right? He just made that one mistake and got caught. I think the thing is here is with Jarrett Hurd, he's gonna have to control that Philly instinct that's inside of him and actually do some boxing, actually do some moving. Like Jarrett Hurd does not do well when he actually has to pick up his feet and come at you. I saw that against Austin Trout. The problem was Jarrett Hurd corners you and then he goes to work. Like, you got to hit this motherfucker with the kitchen sink. He's gonna make you work, and then he's gonna, like, you know, like you say, he's too big, so he's using his size, he's using his strength, he's using everything to put on you to wear you down. If Julian Williams can keep from what's naturally built inside of him, which is that Philly instinct fight, and actually fight a boxing match, he has a very good chance of winning. You know, so it's a tough one for me, but it's hard for me not to go with Jarrett Hurd, because right now Jarrett Hurd, especially when he fought as like Lotta, Jarrett Hurd is just on another level. Like that punch he hit Lotta with, and that's why it was very important for him to fight Trout. He didn't fight Lotta right away. He fought Trout. After he fighting Trout, then he's like, all right, I got everything I need from looking at a left hand fighter, or you know, a slick left hand boxer, whatever, from looking at a left hand guy, and then going in the ring and fighting him. So he got everything he needed to go in there. And I think when he looks at Julian Williams, he doesn't see anything that, you know, different that he hasn't seen before. He just got to go in, maybe use a little bit. If Jarrett Hurd start using that arm and that reach advantage, it could be a long night for Julian Williams. So it's and Jarrett Hurd is smart enough to know that. That's the thing about it. Like, Jarrett Hurd has shown me each fight, because when you watch each one of his fights, you'll think he's a one-dimensional fight. He's going to come in, put his weight and stuff on you and try to beat you. But if you actually watch his fights, when he fought Tony Harrison was arguably probably the more skillful boxer. So what do? He put stuff on it. Same thing with Austin Trout. He put something on it. But when he fought Eslani Lotta, he actually showed some boxing skills. That's why he hit him with that punch to knock him down. That's why the fight was so close. It didn't always matter on him counting on trying to corner and use his weight and strength against you. He actually was doing some things that was being effective that made Lotta have to stand and fight. Like, man, this dude is being effective here. And I think if that Jarrett Hurd comes to fight Julian Williams, it could be a hard night for Julian Williams. But if Williams can avoid that natural Philly instinct, it could be a hard night for Hurd. This is actually it's a tough fight for me to pick, because it's kind of hard to see who's going to show up. But I'm going to go with Jarrett Hurd, because he's shown me on a more consistent level that this is a guy that when them lights is on, like we say, when the lights and the camera's on, he shows up. This is a dude that shows up a lot more than Julian Williams, although you can say that it was only one fight, but it was a big one fight where he didn't show up for.
Right. I just can't say enough. I just believe he's gonna fall victim to where he's from, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna happen. And this, again, just like it wasn't against Jermell Charlo, this is not the kind of fighter you want to how do I say you want to manifest that in the ring against, bro. This isn't that type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? You know, your JoJo Dans and shit, and you know them lower tier contenders and shit. Yeah, it's sure, but not these guys, man. You don't want to you don't want to show that against these guys.
And man, Jarrett Hurd isn't a devastating puncher, but he's like Miguel Cotto. He's a hard puncher. He's devastating. He's a hard, like, when he hits you, you feel like, God damn.
Well, Jarrett Hurd's punches are like bread to your stomach. You know what I'm saying? You eat some bread and shit, nigga. You feel fat and shit, right? It sticks to you. That's Jarrett Hurd's punch. That shit sticks to you.
No shit. That's actually a damn good analogy, bro.
Yeah. So that's the advantage of Jarrett Hurd. But it's a good fight. I'm actually hoping Julian Williams actually boxes for 12 rounds, because if he does, it's going to make this fight very intriguing. And not to say that if he stops boxing and stays stagnant and sits in the pocket a little bit, that won't be exciting. But I'm going to know that he loses that battle. You know what I'm saying? The rounds he decides to do that in, I'm going to say he loses. I'm going to feel like I already know he's going to lose those type of rounds. So I don't want him doing that the majority of the fight. I need him to box. And if he does that, it's going to make this fight a very good one, man. We'll see, man. He's hungry. Breadman's hungry. I should interview Breadman and ask him if the niggas wearing the Manolos. You know what I'm saying? I should, bro. Go ahead and send that nigga a message. I should get at him. Does he got the Manolos on this time? Because that was a pivotal thing to Breadman when he fought Jermell Charlo. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Let me go in the chat. I'm only gonna go in here for a little bit, man, because we way over time, man.
Actually, we're about right. It's 10:30. We started at 8:30, 2 hours.
I'm trying not to be 2 hours. I'm trying to be an hour and a half. It's always the first few topics, man, that fuck that shit up. You know what I'm saying? My man said he gonna watch some NBA Western Conference Finals. I can't watch that shit no more, man. I can't watch NBA, bro, no more. I'm done. After that highlight Corey put in one of them groups, I'm done, man. Corey know what I'm talking about. Let's see what else we got up in here, man. My man Triple J said, I love boxing in general. The smaller weights do put on bigger fights most of the time. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's see what everybody else is saying, man. They going in on Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia, man. You got a couple cats over there saying that Mikey Garcia didn't decline the fight with Loma, and a couple cats saying Loma's the one that declined the fight first. At the end of the day, it's like this. To me personally, it's like this. Mikey Garcia was reluctant to deal with Top Rank again, and he made that clear. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to deal with Bob Arum again, so close to him getting out of that contract and him being a free agent. So with that being said, that's why he decided not to go the route of Lomachenko, right? I don't think it's because of Lomachenko per se, right? And Lomachenko had a route of his own that he was going. But remember when those two met up? I can't remember after what fight it was, but they met up, they hugged and took some pictures and shit. Lomachenko told him right then and there that he'll fight him. And Mikey Garcia was saying, yeah, I'll fight him too, but he was kind of dancing around that shit. You know what I'm saying? The reporters was all over that shit as soon as them two niggas were standing next to each other. And Mikey Garcia was dancing around that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, I see this shit, nigga. At the end of the day, Mikey Garcia was not trying to deal with Bob Arum, straight up and down. So it is what it is. Listen, man, I'm gonna ask you a question, Lord Zoe. Nigga, you a brother with a motherfucking name from Kazakhstan, nigga, on YouTube.
You stupid.
Hans Community. What the fuck is that shit, nigga? Are you black or are you motherfucking Caucasian? Which one? Let's talk about how I cook you with that Burley versus Robinson on Standing 8 group. What's Standing 8? What group you talking about? I don't even know what group that is. I ain't in no group. I ain't in no group like that. You ain't cooked me in nothing. I don't know what you talking about, nigga. Ain't nobody cooked me. So, like I said, you could try to attempt to cook me on this damn show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could attempt to try to cook me on this show, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time.
God damn.
What the fuck are you doing, nigga? Just tell me what you doing. This nigga laughing and dying on. What you doing, nigga?
I'm
tell
laughing
me what you
at
doing.
y'all, man. My slave master name.
Yeah, nigga, that's nigga. You from Kazakhstan, motherfucker.
This nigga, slave master.
This nigga roll up in here from Poland and shit, black as fuck. Fuck out of here, nigga. Nah, but check this. Yeah, he got a Cardi B ringtone. What the fuck are you doing, Bo?
I'm gonna tell you off air, dog. This shit is funny.
What the fuck? Nah, real talk though. The greatest pound for pound fighter of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson, ducked Charlie Burrow. Sure did.
Of course, we know that. We talk about that all the time.
Sure did. Ducked a few niggas out the Black Murderers Row. You know, who did he fight? Lloyd Marshall? When he was young? I mean, when he was old?
No, it was Aaron McDade, Aaron, that cat, Aaron, what's his name? He was almost out the motherfucking door. Because after Sugar Robinson fought him, that dude didn't fight no more.
Lloyd Marshall was another nigga he ducked. That's right. Nigga ducked Coco Kid. he definitely ducked Eddie. He definitely ducked Eddie Booker. I know that for a fact.
Hell yeah.
Eddie Booker. He didn't want no smoke. But he's still the greatest fighter of all time. Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, tag me in that group. I don't know what group you talking about, man. I don't know what group you talking about. How you gonna cook a nigga that's not in the group? Yeah, you need to put me
in a group. Yeah,
I've never been in that group. You need to put me in the group and then tag me in that post, and we'll talk about it. But I don't do the whole Facebook shit, nigga. I go on wax, nigga. I ain't trying to give you no opportunity to go to box right, motherfucker. You got to come with your goddamn knowledge ready, nigga. You got to come with your knowledge ready, bro. Shit, we on wax live, nigga. Everybody can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but real talk. Every fighter in boxing has ducked somebody.
Of course.
That's just plain and simple. Every fighter in boxing has ducked somebody. Sugar Ray Robinson's not exempt from that. Nobody's exempt from that. You know what I'm saying? Not even Floyd Mayweather.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, those are the people that he ducked, in my opinion. All right. We're going to get the fuck up out of here, man. We've been on this bitch for a long time. Man, I appreciate everybody that be fucking with us, man, for so long. 2 hours, bro. You got niggas that be on here for 2 hours with us, bro. Listening to us talk bullshit the whole 2 hours.
For real, right?
You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit up 3kingsboxing.com for the best information in boxing news as well as interviews. Also, we got one interview up on Facebook, Malik Hawkins. He's a Baltimore prospect, real good friends with Tank Davis, grew up with Tank Davis. He fights at welterweight right now, but he's talking about going back down to 140. That's a guy you guys need to go check out. If you have time, go to YouTube, look at some of his fights. Definitely a rising prospect. We had 2 more interviews. My man Big Cool put an interview up. We also have an interview with Tunde Ajayi, where he talked about he's actually the manager.
That dude was going off, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's actually the manager and trainer for Anthony Yard, and he had a very entertaining interview with Bo. I'm actually gonna I should put them up on YouTube, but they're on Facebook. Go check them out. I might put them on YouTube. I haven't decided yet, but they're definitely on Facebook. Tunde Ajayi is on the 3kingsboxing.com website. You can check it out on there as well, and I'll be putting the Malik Hawkins one up there as well, all right? Also, when you're on that website, make sure you click the donate button. Do what you do for the authors, man. They put their blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of these niggas not sleeping, trying to get y'all news and shit out there, right? Yeah, man, the Iceman, exactly, Prophet. Got a lot of cats out there not sleeping, man, trying to get y'all news and trying to get y'all a lot of information. So go ahead and support the authors, man. I appreciate everybody who already has. Also, follow us on Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com, where it's really popping, /3kingsboxing. All right. Also, don't forget about this podcast every Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. Also, we will be going live every once in a while on this channel, so don't forget to click that notification button, click the like button on all these videos, share them, subscribe to the channel. We will be going live every once in a while on this channel, also on Facebook, where you can actually see a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I like niggas to see me, look into my eyes, nigga. I really know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just follow 3 Kings wherever we at. We always bring you content. Let me see what my man said. My man from Poland said, my sources are Buddy Gibbs, who part from IBHOF, International Boxing Hall of Fame, and Harry Wiley Jr., the son of the great Harry Wiley Sr. Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That don't mean you not gonna lose. With that being said, we out this bitch.
We out, y'all.